one and all, I am Palofgames and welcome to Hearthstone Naxx Attack. Today we are versing Heigan the Unclean. His ability is for 1, he can deal 2 damage to a leftmost enemy minion. Now, I feel that that's quite an interesting ability, and one what will cause me to have to think that Freeze Mage could be quite useful here, just because of the fact that I don't play many minions at all in this deck, and so it makes sense to use a deck like this. I feel Freeze Mage is really cheap. As a level 60 mage, I've always been for control / value.
You think you're safe here?
What sort of gain off the little bonuses of having that ability, rather than hey, let's just go crazy and annoy people. I put that in because I've noticed with a lot of these enemies, they've had sort of a lot of like low minions, like low casting. I'm okay with that starting hand actually. I'm tempted to not play it, but I will. It'll give him a reason to use that ability right now. I'll purposely set up his ability with Novice Engineer. That's going to be a problem. He's opted out of wanting to take out my Novice Engineer. That's interesting. Well, at this point in the game, I think I'm going to play Worm and deal 3 damage, taking out his 2. This will allow us to start to gain a bit of momentum.
I will blow your mind!
That's a really interesting kind. For a minute I was like, what? I don't know if you played before. Right now, continue to take out his minions. I want to get some card draw. Oh, and that's perfect, because that will mean I'll get extra cards, as opposed to spell damage, obviously. However, that's going to kind of go against everything he wanted, and he got really lucky with the minion he got. So I think I'll do I want a Frost Nova here? I kind of don't have a choice in it. I suppose what I can do is come out that way. And then I can take out his Blood Imp if I want to.
More soul!
But I think I can leave the Imp for now. As much as it is a problem, it isn't one where I can doesn't seem to be posing an immediate threat of what he's got. That's kind of what I want to see being played there. So that's nice. So now we're going to want to draw more. See where that leads us. We'll just set up for later, I think. You aren't in no rush to do anything now. I'm surprised that I was going to say, if you're going to take the issue with that card, it's a really bad idea rather than using his 2 damage there. Right now, this can be a Frost Nova. From there, I've got I can Ice Lance to take out one of his creatures. Could use that. Frostbolt's there. I think I can poke him down a bit now, I think. Let's start getting this down and see what that gets. Okay. I think that'll do it for now. I don't need to use that, it's just a waste. We'll leave it for now.
I will enjoy watching you die. From the void, I
He's really gaining off of that. A bit too much. But that's going to mean that we're in a really safe spot. Because now we can double ourselves, and that's in a position where we're going to, unless he has some sort of life gain. Even then we can stall longer with Blizzard, we've got the Ice Block, it's pretty safe here. I realise this deck's a bit pricey, so it's not really great for everyone. But most of the basic core cards are pretty easy. I mean, I haven't needed to use Alexstrasza here. Obviously that's going to be game. So that's Heigan taken care of. Easy and pushing it.
Seething with anger.
That is super stable. I will be doing more code chats. On next episode we'll be
Just
taking
being nearby, Lothar,
and trying to
causes
take him
your
out.
flesh to rot. So I recommend a melee class.
So I'm going to show you what the deck is. It's quite costly, I think, but let's say let's try and make a budget version for you guys right now. So if you didn't have that, I'm going to assume most of his stuff is pretty fair. I mean, the ice blocks are kind of needed, but if you didn't have them, I think you could make a budget version. Potentially the ice blocks are needed, but here's like my interpretation of if I was to do a budget version of it. I would want to put 2 Cone of Coals in that, so only commons, so that's fair enough, I think. Blizzards are there if you wanted to upgrade the cones to Blizzard. Let's take the ice blocks out in case you didn't have them, obviously. So far that's commons. I think there's no rares in there, I think. Oh, cold lights. So let's take out the cold lights as well in case you're really on a budget, and Pyroblast is also going to be a problem. So from there, what I would recommend doing is basically your bulk damage comes from your 2 fireballs, your ice lances, and your frostbolts. Basically everything else is draw power and stalling. If you wanted to try and enhance your damage, what I would recommend is if you didn't have Blood Mage Foul, you could consider Kobold Geomancers, which is obviously a null card. So let's say we put some of them. It might change as I go along. Where would we go from here? I think we would want to get some more draw power. So Acolyte is a great way of doing that. You don't have a cold light, although it is a little slower, so you may find you have problems there. Overall, the damage output is 12, 18, 24, 32 damage in all, I think. If you were talking about the spells what do damage, what can be potentially to the hero. So from there you haven't got a lot of damage, so you're going to want to try and make up a bit more to ensure you've got enough, I think. I think it'd be tough to do it if you wanted to use this type of deck on a budget. I would recommend Water Elementals, I think, just because they'd be able to be a bit bulky and be able to ensure that you can get another way of using them Ice Lancers. Potentially, I would say Flame Strike, but the curve wouldn't sort of supplement it. So I'd probably recommend using either an Elven Archer here, maybe an Abusive Sergeant. In my case, I would probably use a Elven Archer just because it would give me flexibility with the Acolyte. I'm trying to think of other low cost stuff. You could use Leponome if you wanted to do that, give yourself another damage opportunity. Other than that, I think there's nothing else you could pretty much do, I think, which would enhance it further. To be honest, like I said, I mean, I did end up using that Pyroblast, but I think it could be done without. I just wanted to come up with a cheap, effective way of doing this deck if you were on a budget. So there is the deck I've come up with. As of just final, I'm just having a quick look through the theories to think of if there's anything else you could use. Wolf Rider might be something that's like sort of that finisher you're working towards, you could, I suppose. And I don't think there's anything in fours you could use, really. So yeah, I think that covers it pretty much. I hope that deck's been useful, and I won't be rambling anymore. So thanks for watching, and join me next time for another Naxx Attack.